So, for one, when you actually look at the data from these studies, you compile all the data, they really don't conflict with each other. It's the interpretations that conflict. It's pretty clear. And this notion of there aren't enough studies, that's a misconception. We have been funding marijuana research for a number of years in this country. I personally have been given marijuana since 1998, and our group even before that. And we published dozens of papers, and other people have published dozens of papers on the direct effects of marijuana, whether it's related to medical marijuana or just positive effects related to marijuana. The literature is there. It's just hard to access because, first of all, it's poorly written. We're scientists, we're some of the poorest writers you want to meet. But that's one of the reasons that I wrote High Price, to try and make some of this literature accessible to a general readership. And so, yeah, it's true that the drug being on Schedule 1 might make it more difficult to do some studies. But I think the level of difficulties to do research with marijuana stems primarily from the fact that folks can't get access to the drug. Not that you can't do the studies, but you have to get funding from NIDA. And so that means you have to go through a review committee and so forth that reviews the grants. And if they deem it not meritorious, then you can't get government marijuana. I mean, but science in general is very competitive. So this is not unique to marijuana, but people have made it seem as though it's, well, I guess it is slightly unique to marijuana, but I think that has been overstated. And I think that the effort should simply be, as Rick Dublin and some of those folks have done, just try to make sure we have multiple providers of government or marijuana that can be used for human studies. And I think that's where the action should be, but people certainly can do this research as long as they have all the proper safeguards in place.